It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm here. It's Friday. I'm here. It is showtime. It is the Geno Jones Showtime. Hope you had a great week. Memorial Day was Monday, and here it is, the end of May. June 1st starts on Monday. So I want you to have a great weekend. Like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody to like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. So let's get right into it. It's Friday. So I appreciate everybody taking time on a Friday to check a brother out, check me out. By the way, the show is interactive. So if you got a question, you got a comment on my monologue or anything else, just jump in that chat room right there. You see where it says live chat. As a matter of fact, let me click this button for you all, for me anyway. You see where it says live chat. So just reach out to me and leave your questions or comment. Oh, also, if you don't get a chance to leave a question or comment in the chat room, leave your comments in the comment section below, please. Please, 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 please. Leave your comments in the comment section below. So first of all, once again, I want to shout out the voters of South Carolina. I want to especially shout out the black voters of South Carolina, because basically what all the racist MAGA cult members that are a part of the South Carolina House of Representatives and the MAGA, racist MAGA cult members in the South Carolina Senate basically tried to, after ballots had already went out for overseas ballots for citizens of South Carolina, they tried to, they call it redistrict, to basically is to draw different lines to kind of break up the black population, to dilute black voting power. Black folks said, okay, that's what we're doing. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to show up in record numbers. And so the early voting numbers have been every day this week. I think this morning I saw numbers was almost 30,000 early voters. So I think, what was it? Like almost 60,000 people early voted on Monday. And then it was around nearly 40,000 Tuesday, then roughly around 30,000 the other day. And the majority of those ballots, because here in South Carolina, they ask you, do you want a Democratic or Republican ballot? And it's really beyond party. They should say, do you want a ballot that leans into humanity or inhumanity and racism? Because that's really what it has come down to. It is beyond what they call partisan politics. It's about humanity. So shout out to the black voters and the non-black voters that voted for humanity as opposed to inhumanity and racism and bigotry and hate. But big shout out to black folks. And one of the MAGA cult members in the South Carolina Senate said, you might not want to try to do this redistricting things, because you might really piss off these black folks and they might really turn out in numbers that they normally wouldn't turn out for. I've said that I've been calling it, and I predicted it. Not that I'm Nostradamus, Negrodamus, but I know, look, I've been black virtually 6 decades, so I know. And that's exactly what happened. So even the MAGA dude in the Senate was the colonizer got it right. He's like, y'all really, you don't want to do this. It's too late. It's done now. So big shout out to them. Now, I didn't get a chance to talk about this Kevin Hart roast on Netflix, because there were really more important things, like when people are trying to basically dilute and take away your voting power and your voting rights. That takes a little precedent over a Kevin Hart roast. So, but the big controversy has been basically, so there were some white comedians who are just flat out racist. That's their stick. All of their jokes are basically rooted in racism and bigotry and hate. I'm not even going to name these dudes because it's irrelevant. You know, I'm not even going to platform them on my show. One of them was like one of the hosts. Now, this dude Trump had this big rally, Orange Hiller had this big rally before the 2024 election at Madison Square Garden. And this MAGA dude, this colonizer MAGA dude, was there. So people who know that this dude is his comedy is just, that's his thing. Saying racist, offensive, some people call it edgy. No, don't call it edgy. Call it what it is. Racist. That's his stick. His stick. He's a comedian that does racist jokes. Period. Full stop. So Kevin Hart called. Well, really, a lot. Of course, these comedians, especially these two white comedians, because one of them made a joke about George Floyd being dead or being murdered. And then one of them made a joke about Cheryl Underwood's husband who committed suicide. Now, Cheryl Underwood was there, and Cheryl Underwood, she shut the room down because she checked these comedians like in real time. It's like, y'all don't even know where you are. Do you know that as soon as you walk outside, that your ass will be blank, up. I mean, but it was hilarious the way she did it. It's like, you don't even know where you are. Do you know where you are? Do you know what could happen to your ass as soon as you walk outside this building? All I got to do is make the call. Woo-hoo! And before you know it, ass whooped. Ass whooping. So shout out to Cheryl Underwood. Apparently he's got a Netflix special coming up. But Kevin Hart's name was on it. The Kevin Hart roast. And he took a lot of heat. Now, let me set it up. As I get this, whatever that is, piece of lint off my blazer here. Where did that come from? I know. That's what I love about live TV. Who else will do this? This is live TV, but this is the Geno Jones Show, so we keep it real. Okay. Now, Kevin Hart, one of the most successful comedians in history, period. At the top of his game right now. Now, Kevin Hart has put a lot of black comedians on. He's put a lot of comedians on, but he has put a lot of black comedians on. Black comedians that got specials because of Kevin Hart's influence, especially out there in Hollywood. Yes, he has done that. He is definitely empowered. He's got his own little channel on Sirius XM radio. So has he done that? Yes, absolutely. Has he done, and I'm sure he's done some things that we don't know about. Okay, so let's set that over here. Let's go to the roast. Now, let me try to explain, for those who may not know what a roast are. Roasts have been going on from way back in the day. Just Google the Friars roast, okay? And basically it's when comedians get together and they just really just tell brutal jokes. Let me put it this way. Black America gets it. Now I'm sure white folks, you all do the same thing. You call it something different. Like when I was a kid, we called playing the dozens, which is just basically signifying or just cracking jokes about you. Really, the jokes are they're meant to be funny, but they're meant to be demeaning. So hence the term roast. They're trying to like roast your ass and just talk about you, and find whatever flaws or faults you have, but do it in a funny way. That's what a roast is. Okay. And I get it. I'm not a full-time stand-up comedy is not my full-time vocation. All right. Media host, radio host, TV host. Now I've emceed and I've hosted many events. That's different than doing a set. I eventually started doing stand-up, writing monologues every day. I do a monologue here, but doing a comedy set, which is, you basically have a series of jokes. You have a certain amount of time. It could be from 5 minutes to an hour, or 2 hours or whatever. As long as you can go with jokes that will get the audience to laugh, that's how long, well, it depends. Headliners have more time than, features and guest spots and then opening acts. So I don't want to get into comedy weeds. But basically a roast is people are just, joking on, just joking on you, trying to make fun of you. Full stop. Now, here's the rub. Kevin Hart, he knows these two white comedians. He's admitted it. He knows how racist these comedians, he knows how racist their material is. Now, did he know that one of these comedians was going to say some really racist shit about George Floyd being murdered? Obviously, Kevin Hart doesn't approve the script. The comedians don't have to submit like, okay, let me see the jokes you're going to tell. That's not how that roast operated. Kevin Hart even said himself, I'm not telling these comedians what to say. I'm not writing their monologues and paraphrasing. I know what type of humor they do, but it's a roast. Now, these white comedians who are racist, they have a following. Keep in mind, this is Netflix, so Netflix is trying to get the largest audience, period. So they want the racists to tune in, they want the folks that's not racist, and everybody in between. So Netflix, they're just concerned, they just want the views, which they can convert into dollars. So it's the bottom line for them. How many folks have watched the show? That's all that matters. So the money, the bottom line, is the only thing that matters to Netflix. So, but the rub is that Kevin Hart knew how racist these dudes were, even though he didn't necessarily know up front that you were going to have this comedian that was going to tell a joke about George Floyd being killed, being murdered or dead. He didn't know that one of these other racist comedians was going to tell a joke about Cheryl Underwood's husband committing suicide. But he knew that these dudes, this is their stick, their whole set. All of their jokes is rooted in racism. Period. Full stop. That's just them. And that's who they appeal to. All right. Now, I do want to point something out. This show was recorded. It was recorded live. Like my show is recorded live. Right? If you're watching me Friday night right now, you're watching me, I'm on live. All right? However, the recorded version goes up on YouTube. So by the time the audience got to see the roast, 18 jokes, including one about Owen Hitler's wife, Melania, was edited out of the Netflix Kevin Hart roast. So one could ask, okay, well, you didn't think that telling a racist joke about George Floyd being murdered, being killed, or that a racist joke about Cheryl Underwood's husband committing suicide, y'all were good with that, but you couldn't tell the joke. Whatever the joke was about Melania Trump, you were afraid to offend Orange Hitler? That's where, as the kids say, would call him cap, which means, oh, you lying. So, has Kevin Hart, he's put a lot of comedians on? Yes, he has. Has he he's created opportunity for a lot of black comedians? Yes, he has. But like you said, he is a successful businessman. But at what cost? At what cost do you continue to pursue even more success? At what cost? I asked Kevin. Yes, as powerful as you are, which makes it, because I saw him on The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, and yeah, he was pissed off, and I get it, but you're making my point. talking about, yes, how powerful he is. And he's like, I'm paraphrasing, he's at the top. And, most people don't know what it's like to be at this level and all that other stuff. And a lot of folks will never be at this level. So all the more reason that one could make an argument that with much power comes much responsibility. But I know these are just jokes. Now, comedians will tell you comedy makes a victim out of any and everybody. But it's just pretty ironic that there were 18 jokes somehow that the folks at Netflix and Kevin Hart, they felt that, oh, these are too offensive or whatever, that they were taken out of the original live recording. So what you saw, you didn't see whatever the joke was about Melania Trump and the 17 other jokes that was edited out by the producers. So that was edited out. But y'all were cool with all the real racist stuff. And at the end of the day, Kevin Hart, your name is on the bill. So people are looking at Kevin Hart sideways. I'm going to just go back. Actually, I wanted to start the show today by saying, I want to paraphrase something that Maya Angelou, the legendary icon, author, just national treasure, the late Maya Angelou said. She had so many pearls of wisdom. And she said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So, for me, Kevin Hart has shown me who he is. And a part of who he is that he's the kind of comedian that, he will make sure that he will give some black people opportunities. Yes. But he's also the person that will choose to check over the culture and everything else. And he's got a right to do that. But we have a right to call it out. And he got a right to be pissed off and to pat himself on the back and puff his chest out and, stand 10 toes down, standing on business with his full chest, with his little self, full little chest. But we got a right to criticize you and call it out. And you got a right to be in your feelings. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror. So if and you can want to move on and but the bottom line is that I'll just use myself. And I've said it multiple times. For me, especially the times that we're living in, sometimes you have to choose the culture or just character and decency and humanity over inhumanity and hate and bigotry. I don't care how funny you are. I don't care how cool we are, but you're not just going, as a black man, you're not, and if my name is on the show, the roast, no, we're not doing that. You're not, no, you would have, those two white comedians that everybody know is racist, I don't give a damn how popular they are. Me and Netflix would have just, I don't know, maybe we don't need to do the roast. Because I'm not going to let these dudes come on here and demean the culture, go way over the top. That's that whole gig is going way over the top when it comes to racism. And Kevin Hart knew that, and no matter what, and that doesn't take away all the good things that he's done and all the opportunities he's created for black comedians and other comedians, but I'm just dealing with black folks here. For Kevin Hart as a black man, he got a right to do, and and he's been very successful as a businessman. But all money ain't good money. There's a saying, like back in the day as a kid on the street, say, all money ain't good money. But you can sleep good at night, Kevin. That's fine. But many, black America, a significant portion of Black America. They're looking at you and saying, okay, now we know who you are. You have showed us. We're going to listen to our ancestor, Maya Angelou. When people show you who they really are, believe them. You had this white kid that plays football, second-year kid, Jackson Dart, from Utah, played football at the University of Mississippi. They call it Ole Miss. The mascot is this, they call him the Rebel. Confederates, basically a Confederate soldier, straight racist. So recently, this kid introduced Donald Trump, Orange Hitler. And one of his teammates basically said, oh, this is what we're doing now? Now, his teammate, Abdul Carter, a brother, American, he's a Muslim. We know what Orange Hitler said about everybody, including Muslims. You know, when he first came into office in 2016, he had a Muslim ban. You're just going to ban Muslims because they are Muslims? Is that what we're doing now? Okay. So Abdul Carter, he called it out. Now, Abdul Carter's coach, new coach, John Harbaugh, Trump supporter, Orange Hitler supporter. Now, apparently, Abdul Carter, the two teammates, and Jackson Dart, they discussed it. And shout out to Abdul Carter. I did see some video. He said, hey, listen, no, I don't want him to apologize. Stand on what you believe. But don't criticize me for standing on what I believe. So, yeah, I've been saying it. Stand on it. If you are racist, if you are a bigot, if you just hate humanity, if you lean into this white nationalism, the racist, violent, ignorant ass, lost and confused, if you lean into all that madness and all that evil and inhumanity, stand on it. Stand on it with your full chest. Stand on it. Say it. Believe it. So we know who you are. Once again, when people show you who they are, believe them. Now, I'm sure that Abdul Carter, who plays on defense, and his teammate, his quarterback, Jackson Dart, first of all, they won't be on the field at the same time because one plays offense, the other one plays defense. And according to Abdul Carter, that they sit right next to each other. They were drafted the same year by the New York Giants. Your new head coach is a MAGA supporter. He's an Orange Hitler supporter. You know who you're dealing with. You know who you're dealing with. When people, so the bottom line is this. When people show you who they are, and they really show you, yeah, they can show you by what they say. So when you see comedians that constantly, their whole stick and routine is rooted in racist jokes, oh yeah, believe that. But even more than what people say, watch what people do and how they act. And when people show you who they are, what they believe, what they like, who they hate, when people show you, when they reveal their true character and heart and their core values was deeply rooted in their DNA and bone marrow, when people show you that, who they really are on the inside, by their actions and behavior and words, but the actions and behavior mean the most, because that is the true tell, the true tell. And when people show you who they are, absolutely, positively, Kevin Hart, you showed us who you are. Yeah, you love black folks, but you love money a little more. You're not the only one, but we know that about you. You know, everybody's not Harry Belafonte or Aretha Franklin or Angela Davis or Malcolm X or Bill Russell or Muhammad Ali, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or my man Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who was Chris Jackson, who the NBA blackballed, who was Muslim because he wasn't saluting the flag. This was back in the 90s. Everybody is not suited, and all skin folk ain't kinfolk. People don't realize that when Dr. King was assassinated, the majority of black Americans in a Gallup poll had a negative approval rating of Dr. King. They said he was a troublemaker and a rabble rouser, and he was going to upset and piss off the good white folk, and we're going to get, you're going to get us killed because we are free. You don't want to make them white folks mad. Dr. King didn't give a damn about that. He stood on justice, truth, equality, social and economic justice for everybody. At the end, that's what got him killed. Same with Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton even had like racist redneck, like Ku Klux Klan members saying, well, damn, Fred Hampton, you know what? You're making a lot of sense. These rich white men don't give a shit about me either. Wait a minute, hold on. This race and racism, this was a con. They hoodwinked me. They got me mad and pissed off and calling you the N-word. I need to be calling them some other word. They're the ones that's oppressing me and my family. Yes. So when people show you who they are, Kevin Hart, Jackson Dart, a family member, a co-worker, someone in your church, in your community, fraternity, sorority, whatever it is, when people show you who they are, believe them. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Have a great weekend. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments. I love to hear what you say. Good, bad, ugly, it don't matter. You know what? You can't offend me, so say what you want to say. Say it with your full chest. Say it, mean it, stand on it. 10 toes down, stand on it. Stand up in it, and stand on it. That's what I want you to do. All right. Shout out to Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram, lx.ncl_, lx.n, like Nanette, CL_. Now, I would love to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. Next week is going to be Meet the Candidates. So we have primaries in South Carolina. Early voting has already started. It started Tuesday. It'll go till next Friday. So we'll have several candidates that are running for various offices on the show all next week. So we call it Meet the Candidates Week right here on the Geno Jones Show. And we still got our celebrities. We do all that. We do all that good stuff. So it's going to be, it'll be real cool. You'll enjoy it. So once again, but we love to have you as part of the family. Please, it's so important that we support Black-owned media, and you can do that financially. You can financially support my media company, Black-owned media, and the Geno Jones Show 2 ways. You can do it via Zelle account. Well, really, 3 ways. So you can Zelle your financial support. Use my email address, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell it, all one word, no the, Geno Jones Show @gmail. Got that? Now, no amount is too small or too large. So you can Zelle your financial support to my media company, Geno Jones Show @gmail. You can Cash App, use this Cash App address, $Dad G Jones, all one word, capital D, lowercase a D, capital G J, lowercase ONES. That's capital, so you got $, capital G J, all right, Dad, oh, actually, so it's $, capital D, Dad G Jones. So $, capital D, lowercase a D, capital G J, lowercase ONES. All right, you got that. Once again, no amount is too small or too large. Now, for all the candidates running for office, if you have political ads you'd like to run on the show, you can reach out to me. I'll send you information if you want to be sponsor or I would just love to have you as a sponsor of the Geno Jones Show, or you want to run your ads, you can reach out to me. Use that same email address, GenoJonesShow@gmail.com. GenoJonesShow@gmail.com. So once again, everybody, have a great weekend. Please, please, please leave your comments, whatever your comments are. Leave your comments in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. I love to read them. I even read some of them on the show, And YouTube would like to see them. They would love to see them also. So spread the word. Tell everybody to leave your comments below. Leave your comments in the comment section. Once again, like, share, subscribe. Have a great weekend. Monday morning I'll be on the radio. But we'll see you live Monday evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. I love you, and love is a verb. It is an action word. Show your love. I'll holler.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.